It's the final percent. The final percent. Yeah. All right, welcome to another edition of the Final Percent podcast. And, in very run and gun fashion, we are not letting excuses, get in our way so that we can actually deliver content. And we're out running errands in between sessions. We actually have a session that we're running back to with Brianna Stonelake. So this is going to be a quick one, but we're on the go, and we want to, again, stay consistent because, as I talked about, you have declarations that only become decisions when you have consistent action. And one of the things that came up in just me thinking, me talking, me teaching, me helping people, and not just helping other people, helping myself. A lot of my podcasts are very much things that I'm either using currently on myself, working through, developing, all of these different things. But I mentioned this idea of acquisition or acquiring versus building. And originally I had said, so many people are just acquiring, but they don't actually build anything. So, what are you actually getting accomplished with the things that you acquire? So I had someone kind of challenge that way of thinking, and they said, well, a lot of people, are addicted to stuff, or they're having the desire dopamine, and they're addicted to getting, the horizon syndrome. If this happens, then I'll be happy. If this happens, then I'll be happy. But what I realized is it actually kind of goes back to my concept of performance versus development. And what that means is we're acquiring not just stuff, but we're acquiring knowledge. We're acquiring people. We're acquiring data points. We're acquiring the experience needed and necessary to make the decision so that then we can properly build. So I actually want to use those in tandem, when we're acquiring, whether it's stuff, say that, you're like me, I love gadgets, I love technology, so I want the newest camera, I want the latest thing, the latest phone. But then the question is do you utilize the newest technology? Do you utilize what is possible with the things that you acquired so that you can actually build the life of your dreams, so that you can build forward? And I think that we actually get kind of caught in a mental rut. So what happens is we get, stuck in that initial dopamine phase where we are, what they talk about when you're a musician, specifically a studio person. They say, man, you've got gas really bad. Now, GAS, G-A-S, stands for Gear Acquisition Syndrome. Now, a lot of people have this in their own thing. It might be the newest, if you're like the quintessential macho guy, the newest tools, or the newest mower, or the newest car, or the newest Corvette, whatever it is. Most people, right when something comes out, they want the latest, greatest thing, but they don't actually utilize or use the specs to build something. They just want to tell people they have the newest thing, or the latest and greatest, and this, that, and the other. But people are the same way. When someone comes into your life that can change your life, you have just acquired another incredible source of experience and knowledge and a whole nother network, and someone that you can bounce ideas off of. But then what happens, instead of doubling down on that relationship, cultivating that relationship, going all in on that relationship, you tend to just go look for another person. I want to be popular. I want more likes. I want more parties. I want, more. And that's why they call dopamine the more molecule, because we just want more. And remember, you can never have enough more, because if all you want is more, then there's never enough. And so I want to challenge you to understand, am I in a state of development, and when do I need to, or when is it appropriate to go to performance? Or am I in a state of acquiring, and when is it appropriate to actually build? So being able to differentiate those things, being able to differentiate what is happening in your mind, your behavior, your thoughts, the way that you execute things. Am I only in acquisition, or am I in building? Now, on the flip side of it, I see a lot of entrepreneurs who stay in building mode, but they never acquire the new knowledge. They never acquire the new technology. So it's a little bit like they're running a 21st century business from the 20th century, because they never learned about what can happen if you leverage technology, if you acquire the right people, if you hire the right people, if you go to the seminar, if you move forward in the right way so that you can actually change your stars. So be able to identify, am I in acquiring or building? Because here's the thing, you need both. But a lot of times you're too busy acquiring things, you forget to build, or you're too busy building, you forget to acquire the new knowledge. So just kind of take a stock, look at your calendar, look at what has transpired in your life, maybe since your New Year's resolution that I'm sure 90% of you are not still holding true to. But figure out, was it because you forgot to build? Was it because you forgot to acquire? Or maybe you were just too busy Netflix and chilling, and you didn't do either one. Now, that is the worst thing you can do. And so, some of the best ways to get through the procrastination that tends to happen in today's day and age, I love the book 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins. I think it could help everyone out there. If you find yourself making largely ceremonial declarations and you don't follow through on anything, but take a stock of your schedule, and I want you to go, okay, is this an acquiring activity or is this a building activity? And I think if you can identify where you're at, whether you are acquiring or building, and you can be more intentional with those activities, and if you start, looking at your schedule and you're like, oh my gosh, I do 95% acquiring and 5% building, maybe we need a little more balance. So just take stock of your schedule, identify what is your bias, where do you tend to go, what do you tend to do when things like that come up, and I think that you're going to be able to focus your life, focus your energy, focus your time, and understand and be more aware of the people in your life so that you can be more efficient and you can truly, truly build the life of your dreams. So this has just been a quick little podcast, because again, we are not going to stop. We are staying consistent. We're going to show you what it looks like when we put our foot back on the gas. Now, I'm going to give you, for anybody who's listening to my podcast, I'm going to give you a little secret here. I am not going to advertise the TFP retreat that is coming up on the 27th, the 28th, and the 29th of September. I'm not advertising it. The only way you're going to know about it is if you get invited or if you listen to my podcast. So if you're interested in coming to the retreat, it's going to be at my house. We are going to limit it to 40 people. If you're interested in coming to that retreat, I want you to email owen@thefinalpercent.com so that we can see if you're a good fit to come hang out with us. Now, here is what's going to happen at this retreat that really sets us apart. Number one, Sharon Lecter, one of the authors of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, of all of those 14 books that Robert Kiyosaki came up with, Hall of Fame speaker, she's actually going to be there all 3 days. She's spending time with us, and you're going to be able to get real one-on-one talks and connection with one of the absolute legends of what personal development and business development is all about. Now, second, this is what we call a retreat, capital R-E, because we realize that everybody out there is an ER person. Everybody out there wants something faster, bigger, newer, better. They are an ER person. We want you to flip those letters around and become a re-person, because we want to help you reconnect to your why, rewire your brain, remember why you started. We really want you there so that you can understand how to launch from the present, because a lot of you are in these if-then scenarios. If I acquire all of these things, then I'm going to take action on my life. If I do this, then I can do it. So you're trying to launch your future, or you're trying to launch your entire life from the future. You're trying to hit a moving target that you don't even understand how to get to. So we want to reconnect you to what's possible. We want you to reignite what's possible. We want you to actually understand how powerful the present is and start building today with people who can change your life with the right information, change your awareness, and change what's possible for your future. The best way to predict the future is to create it. And so I'm inviting you there. If you want to come, you need to reach out to Owen, and we would love to see you there. But we are going to have some real, honest to God, powerful breakthroughs in business, in mindset, and we are going to have some of the greats in health, in wealth, and in the brain. We are trying to absolutely change your life, and we want you to come join this community. So if that sounds like something that you would be interested in, please connect with us. And as always, remember, we're trying to grow this channel. So if you just listen to this, I want you to screenshot the podcast. I want you to tag me on Instagram or whatever the social media is, and I want you to help me get things out there. I'm not going to do the whole carpet bomb thing. Like I said, I need my community to help me help people. So that's my only ask. I'm going to keep giving you consistent free content, and all that I'm asking for as payment is you help me help more people. So without further ado, this has been the Final Percent Podcast.